Step 1. Changing the team's mentality. When Flick joined Barca, he knew that he had to change the mentality of the team.
How we work, it's totally different than they had it before.
Xavi had said that the Barca team was not good enough to compete with Real Madrid and other top European clubs.
Que el culé, el barcelonista, el aficionado, el socio debe entender que la situación es muy difícil, la situación es complicada, sobre todo a nivel económico para competir con los máximos competidores, tanto en Madrid, en España, como en Europa.
Flick disagreed.
And I don't care about the situation actually. I focused on our team, on Barca. This is the important thing. And
instead, he created a positive environment where he consistently shows how proud he is of the squad and how good he thinks they are.
It's a tough program, but today we are really happy and I'm proud about the team.
He never discusses injuries or lack of activity in the transfer market. Rather, he focuses on maximizing the potential of the squad.
The 18 field players with 3 goalies. So it's enough, but it's not huge, but it's okay for that.
During the matches, he tries to be as calm as possible, even though it can be difficult with the state of the La Liga refs.
My red card also, I'm really disappointed about that because I thought that that's never happened to me, but here it's maybe it's like that, and I have to accept it.
While Xavi used to be super animated on the touchline, wearing his emotion on a sleeve,
we try to control our emotions. It's hard, it's not easy.
Flick has that cold German stare.
I said to my team, hey, come on. I don't want that we complain on the field. I don't want that we get bad actions about the referees, about the opponent. No, we are playing football. We focus only on that.
When the team is leading, he makes sure that they're not complacent. I literally saw him pushing the team forward to push for an 8th goal when Barca were spanking Real Valladolid.
The team has this hunger, after every goal we go more for the next one.
Then when they are losing or things aren't going their way, he tells them to relax and to have faith in the system.
How we want focus on ourselves and not on the other teams.
That shift in mentality has been perfect, especially for a young team. When they look over and see the manager calm and relaxed, they're able to play calm and relaxed.
The mentality of the team, how they always believe in themselves, and this is good to see.
Step 2. Changing the formation. Flick immediately changed the formation as soon as he arrived. Xavi used the traditional 4-3-3 with a sole pivot, the same formation that Barca used back when Xavi was a player to dominate everyone. Flick instead uses a 4-2-3-1, playing with a double pivot. In his system, the 2 holding midfielders have to be able to do a little bit of everything, and that's exactly what Casado and Pedri have done. De Jong has done well in that role too, but Pedri and Casado have played the most games together. They've been the foundation. Pedri has the freedom to get forward. He not only dictates play from the back, but will also be orchestrating in the attacking third. His floated crosses into the box are better than sex.
I feel free. I think that's what he has transmitted to me, to play without pressure and to do what I know. I feel much more at ease.
While everyone knows how good Pedri is on the ball, his work rate off the ball often goes unnoticed. His ball recovery numbers are higher than many other midfielders who are constantly praised for their defending, like Caicedo, Rice, Valverde, and Jude Bellingham. He is the player that makes everything tick. He dictates the tempo. He dictates the speed. Then next to Pedri, Casado does even more of the dirty work. He is a workhorse. He presses for 90 minutes, puts in tackles, plays with 110% intensity. He's the perfect partner for Pedri. Complements him super well. Step 3. Possession with purpose. Historically, Barca have always had a commitment to possession-based football. Cruyff, Pep, Xavi all built their system around the principles of short, quick passing. Flick still uses a lot of the same principles of total football.
When I decided to be a coach, I followed Barca because Barca played fantastic football.
But his style is far more direct.
Want to play. I'm also like that they focus a little bit more to score goals. This is for me very important. So if they have the chance, score a goal directly, then do it.
Barca still keep possession and dictate the tempo of matches. But with Flick, there's less focus on control through possession, but rather an emphasis on direct vertical progression and relentless counterpressing. Flick wants the team to get the ball into the attacking third as quickly as possible. Under Xavi, sometimes Barca would become too predictable, making the same passes over and over again right in front of the opponent. But with Flick, he encourages riskier passes, especially in the build-up. Barca still play out of the back, but now the players are instructed to be more direct. No more side-to-side passing or keeping possession just for the sake of possession. Every pass has a purpose.
Want to be always active, you know? This is for me very important.
It's riskier. Mistakes can lead to goals. But when you have the quality of players like Cubarsí and Inigo Martinez, who can play those long passes that exploit the open spaces behind the opposition, it makes this style easier to do. Another reason why Flick's system works so well is because of the fluidity. He allows players to move out of their designated zones and switch roles on the fly. That's why many times you will see Yamal come in the middle of the pitch, or see Rafinha in the middle. If Yamal cuts inside, Koundé overlaps to provide width. If Rafinha drops deep, Balde pushes high to stretch the play. It creates unpredictability and exploits gaps in the opposition defense. This kind of freedom allows Barcelona to overload specific areas of the pitch, making it much harder for the opponent to defend. The numerical advantages in these areas draws defenders out of formation and creates pockets of space for Barca's technical players like Pedri, Yamal, and Olmo. It also makes the counter press when losing the ball easier. This is also a big reason why Flick prefers the double pivot to be positioned vertically rather than right next to each other. One plays deeper just ahead of the defense, usually this player is Casado or De Jong, and the other is slightly more advanced, in this case Pedri. This layout creates multiple passing lanes because the deeper pivot can receive quick passes from the back line, while the higher pivot can receive progression passes to transition forward quicker. Step 4. A high defensive line. One of the biggest changes that Flick has made to the Barca team is using a very high defensive line. The German uses offside traps to press the opponent and deliberately force them into specific areas of the pitch where Barca can put them under an intense press.
We want to guide the opponents in the right direction where we want them, so that to win the ball. So we press normally in a good way and maybe sometimes a little bit higher than normal.
They are shortening the playing area and reducing the space for the opponents. By having the team constantly stepping up, Barca easily disrupts the other team's attacking flow. Just look at how difficult Mbappe and others have found it. You think you are through or that your goal has stood, then boom, you realize you were offside the whole time. Once again, it's a super risky strategy that has backfired at times. If a player makes a deep run from midfield, they can bypass the trap. It requires exceptional discipline, communication, and physical conditioning. But so far, it's been working. Step 5. Reviving players.
You have to help the players, and
Flick has been a miracle worker with the players. He has pretty much improved every single player at the club so far. Lewandowski looked like he was ready to learn Arabic, but under Flick, he is back to scoring for fun.
Hansi Flick knows you very well, you know him very well.
Yes, he has still missed easy chances and could probably have double the goals he has now, but he's still come up big. Dunked on Madrid, hat-trick against Alaves. It's a night and day difference between how he looked in the final year of Xavi. Inigo Martinez has gone from a player who used to be at the end of the bench to someone starting week in, week out. He was a signing that was questioned, but now him and Cubarsí are one of the best center-back duos in the world. Without them, Flick's entire step 4 of this blueprint doesn't work. Look at how hard Araujo found it to keep that offside line. Meanwhile, these two do it to perfection. Martinez has been comfortable under pressure, he's very good in 1v1 situations, and of course, excellent on the ball. Ferran Torres went from a player that I thought was going to be shipped to China to David Villa's regen. The Shark? More like Finding Nemo, buddy. But even the Shark has been revitalized by Flick. Dunking on Valencia not once but twice, he was also incredibly clutch against Dortmund in the Champions League. With all due respect, if you concede a hat-trick to Ferran Torres, you might as well be relegated. On top of rejuvenating players that seem dead, Flick has made Barca's good players great. Rafinha was good in Xavi's last year. He got 10 goals and 13 assists in a very inconsistent Barca side while also dealing with multiple injuries. Under Flick though, we are seeing Ballon d'Or level performances. His speed and tenacity is perfect for the Germans' direct system. He is still creating at an elite level, as you can see from his assists. This guy casually is having a better year than Vini's greatest ever year. But Flick wants him making runs in behind. He wants the Brazilian to be the one finishing the chances rather than creating it. Barca don't need more creators, but rather runners. The vertical system doesn't work without players willingly getting in behind, and Rafinha, he's perfect at it. He's been the best player in the world when you look at his stats, the eye test, and the fact that so many of his goals have come in big matches. Look at how good his numbers are despite the fact that Rafinha doesn't take penalties for Barca. Combine his ability on the ball with his fantastic work rate, and the Brazilian was custom made for Flick. Very deserving of the captain's armband, this guy bleeds Blaugrana. Koundé is also a player that looks infinitely better. He has gone from someone that looks super uncomfortable on the ball to getting a hat-trick of assists in a match. Step 6. The use of Lamasia. In his first day at the club, Flick mentioned how much he respects Lamasia.
What I can see in the first training session, it's unbelievable. So I have to say thank you to Lamasia, because how they develop the player, it's unbelievable.
Immediately, he started to bring in players for the first team, with the first player being Bernal. Yeah, remember this guy? I thought we were looking at Busquets' regen. It's a shame he got injured, but it shows you just how much belief Flick has in the youngsters that he immediately threw this guy into first team football. Of course, Casado is another product of Lamasia. He is on the older side, but he was still a player that was unknown, yet Flick had full faith in him. Nobody had heard of this guy, yet now he's one of the most important players on this Barca side. Cubarsí and Yamal were players that were introduced by Xavi, but Flick, he's elevated them to another level. Yamal went from being considered the best youngster in the world to literally one of the best players. His stats have gone up and he's one of the most important players on the team. Barca look like a completely worse side when he isn't playing. That's backed up by data, not just from me watching games. His creativity, his ability to make magic, he's one of those players that as soon as you see his name on the starting 11 sheet, you have confidence that Barca are going to win. Cubarsí also deserves a lot of appreciation. The center back position is already a difficult one to play at Barca, let alone being a center back for Hansi Flick. It's a position where players tend to get better with age as they gain more maturity and develop more physically, yet this kid is already dominating grown men with a baby face. The term generational gets thrown around way too much, but Cubarsí, he truly is generational. This level of passing, IQ, and defensive solidity is so hard to find. I think we will be seeing even more players from La Masia be introduced to the first team under Flick. Guillermo Fernandez and Tony Fernandez are players that could easily make the jump. At this point, Flick could pull a kid from the streets of Barcelona and I would have faith in him. Step 7. Competing for trophies. Winning the Super Cup, while not the biggest trophy, was an indicator that Flick's system can lead to silverware. Considering Flick is one of the few managers to have won a sextuple, I'm not sure why there would be any doubt about him winning, but it was a great sign of progress. He has put the club on the right track, and more trophies should follow, especially when Barca bring in more of the players that he wants. There is actually one more step in Flick's blueprint that I didn't cover in this video. It's a big one, so I made a whole video on it. You gotta check it out right here.